Gurave Namaha. Namaste. This is again an impromptu video. The background for this is in my last couple of sessions. I don't remember whether it was Twitter Space or Clubhouse. I did mention about certain sensitive lunar thithis, and the questions have been coming thick and fast. So I thought I'll make a relatively shorter video and a very concise one at that. So what I was actually talking about was pretty much these three tithis, which are basically the Krishna Paksha Chaturdashi, the entire Krishna Paksha Chaturdashi, Amavasya, the entire Amavasya, and the first part of Shukla Paksha Pratipada. Okay. So what we need to know is there's absolutely no need for fear mongering, because if there are benefic aspects, then the effects of these sensitive lunar, or rather the negative effects of these sensitive lunar tithis may not actually show up at all. So don't get really worried. But as far as the academic concept goes, what is written in the Shastra, because whatever shloka is there, the underlying rule is if there are benefic aspects, then you really may not have to really worry. But nevertheless, what is actually happening? They say that during Amavasya, what is happening is the moon is not visible, and moon rules Karka. So Karka in a way has been abandoned. The sign of Karka has been abandoned by its Lord Chandra on an Amavasya Tithi. And this actually has a cascading effect. Okay? Because what happens is when the Lord is not to be seen, the Lord has abandoned the house, the planet which gets exalted in that house, Jupiter, also suffers. And Jupiter is really about Dhishakti. It is about your discrimination. It is about your intelligence and wisdom and things like that. So what can happen during Amavasya is a human being can lose the power of discrimination. So he or she could probably, do some, take some actions which are completely disastrous. And it can also be very, very insensitive, because what is happening is moon, which is the Karaka for sensitivity, emotions, and Jupiter, the intelligence, both are getting into a negative kind of a spectrum. So what can happen in an Amavasya is that there can be certain actions which can be against peace. So there can be a lot of brutal activities that can happen during Krishna Paksha Chaturdashi. Okay, here what is happening is Venus is under a problem. Okay, that is the whole issue here. Venus becomes very sensitive. While in Amavasya, what is happening is Jupiter is getting really affected, and Rahu is the lord of Amavasya Tithi, is getting very, very powerful. Here what is happening is Venus is getting very, very sensitive. So that is why Maharishi Parashara has said that Chaturdashi Tithi, Krishna Paksha Chaturdashi Tithi, is called Chara Rashi Dosha, movable. Amavasya is Thira, fixed, very, very fixed. And the first part of Pratipada is like Dvidvadasha, or dual. So what does this mean for us in terms of remedies and things like that? So if you actually look at Chaturdashi has a Shukra dosha, and it is like Shukra being in a movable sign. Okay, and Parashara Maharishi says that for Krishna Paksha Chaturdashi, since Venus is getting very, very sensitive, the deity that has to be worshipped is Lord Shiva. For Amavasya, the deity that is worshipped is Mother Bhadrakali. And the first part of Pratipada, which is the Dvidvadasha, or a dual kind of nature, we worship Vishnu or Rama. So Parashara Maharishi is under the advice is that it is these deities that are most recommended for worship when the birth is under these sensitive tithis. So again, as I mentioned earlier, During Amavasya, what is happening is Rahu. Okay, it is the issue of Rahu. So what can happen is, because of Amavasya, Jupiter anyway is being very very weak. What can also happen is, if this particular Rahu on an Amavasya gets conjoined with any other graha, that graha also can suffer. The graha's karakatva can also suffer. Okay. For example, if you can actually, on an Amavasya Tithi, let us say Mercury, Rahu joins Mercury. So the significations of Mercury can also come under severe strain. Again, for example, let us say on an Amavasya born, again, the second example for clarity, let us say for somebody who is born in Amavasya Tithi, Rahu has a connection or association with Shukra, then marriage can be delayed, denied, or the experience of marriage can be very negative. Okay, if there are no planet conjoining, then look at the aspects. Look at the aspects. So the what I have learned so far is the issue with the Amavasya dosha is just the Kali worshipping of Bhadrakali is recommended, but you may also want a specific mantra for it, and you also may want a yantra. As far as the mantra for Bhadrakali is concerned, it can be a Mahavidya, but then I really don't talk much about Mahavidyas, because nowadays there have been too many things being written about Mahavidya. And definitely it is something that can be very dangerous. So you will need a guru's advice. You will need a Diksha guru's advice on that. And if at all it is yantra, then it can be a Shri yantra. Okay. So Amavasya Tithi, again, don't get overly worried. In the chapter in Brihad Parashara Hora Shastra, Parashara Maharishi has also given a very specific remedy, which involves a puja. It is called the Amavasya dosha, or Amavasya Shanti. Actually, in South India, it is called Amavasya Shanti. So that also can show very very good results. Okay, so for this you will have to contact a competent priest. Okay, so you really may not really want to go and search for Mahavidya and things like that. So please do look up this particular very detailed Amavasya Shanti process. It is documented, it is translated, and that itself can be a very very good harbinger of positive results for you. So that is all I have for today. Jai Shri Rama. Om Gurave Namah.